Ram Nation, what's going on? You know who this is. Darnell Playmaker Sallins from the Playmakers Blog Podcast, bringing you this week edition of Ramily Talk. We should have fun because we 1-0, baby! We beat those pesky Dallas Cowboys and sent them back to Arlington, Texas 0-1. Man, that was a great feeling. I hope y'all felt as great this week as I have. It's been a great week knowing that we beat the Cowboys. I'm gonna dive into that. I'm also gonna look ahead to this Sunday's matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 0-1. We'll talk about that. I got my boy Tyler O, who's gonna talk some fantasy football for Rams Nation for everybody who got your Rams in fantasy football. We're going to talk about that too. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let's go ahead and recap what took place week 1. Sunday night football. It was the Dallas Cowboys coming into SoFi Stadium to open up the $5 billion stadium that's in Los Angeles, California, as we hosted the Americans team. Was nervous out the gate. I'm not going to lie to him. We open up a new stadium and we got to play America's team. Why we got to play them? Out of all the teams in the NFL, why we got to open up against our new stadium against them? Don't like it. But I said, you know what? I'm tired of Cowboys fans. We're going to win this game. I said 31-28. I said 31-24. I was off. We won by 3, 20-17. Wasn't a complete game. Wasn't all worthy game, as we shouldn't expect. It's the first game of the season for everybody, especially in this crazy year where there was no preseason game. So pretty much a lot of people was calling this is the preseason game for everybody in week 1. But we came out on top 20-17. We're 1-0. Jared Goff did good. 20 for 31, 275. He threw a pick. Shouldn't have been a pick because Alden Smith pretty much blasted Goff in the head. Refs didn't call it, so it turned them into a pick for the Cowboys. Just another year right there. We had the running back by committee. Derrick Henderson didn't really play that much. I think they're trying to hold him back from that hamstring injury. So it was mainly Michael Brown and Cam Akers. Cam Akers got the start, but Michael Brown stole the show. Cam Akers only had 14 carries for 39 yards. Not good, but it's your first game as a pro. We're going to let it slide. We're gonna work our way through and see where we go from here with Cam Akers. Malcolm Brown, though, 18 carries, 79 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 catches for 31 yards. Michael Brown going in, I think it's his 6th or 7th year in the league, all with us. Good to keep him around. He's been a good piece for us. He gonna need to step up more. That's a good start right here. That's a very good start for the opening. I like that. Now, our receiving core, Josh Reynolds, 1 catch for 17 yards. It was a very critical catch too. I think it was a third down, either the third or fourth quarter, and it almost got picked. But he caught it, took it to a first down, kept the drive going. That was a scoring play. That was a scoring drive for us. Good job on Josh Reynolds. Our second round pick, along with Cam Akers, our rookie Van Jefferson from the University of Florida. He had his 1 catch on 3 targets for 31 yards. Beautiful throw by Jared Goff on that play. Very beautiful throw, and Van Jefferson did what Van Jefferson does. He catches it. But, I would like to see Sean McVay get him involved more in the offense. But I understand week 1, you want to stick with the guys that you know for right now. You know about Higby, 3 catches, 40 yards. You know about Cup, 4 catches, 40 yards. But all y'all know about Robert Woods, 6 catches, 105 yards. So we know about these guys here. We know about these guys. And so we're gonna work our way with Van Jefferson and Cam Akers. We're gonna work our way in. It's not perfect, but hey, we didn't have no preseason, so we gotta let some things slide here. So Cam Akers 14 carry 39 yards. We gonna let that slide. Van Jefferson 1 catch on 3 targets, 31 yards. We gonna let it slide. Y'all rookies. This was an unusual offseason with no preseason game, so we understand. Now, defense was a question. No, matter of fact, before I get to the defense, the offensive line held up very well. Jared Goff was on his second one time. if I believe. He only sacked one time. Offensive line held up very well against this Finesse front seven, even though the Cowboys lost Van Der Esch in the first quarter. You still had Jalen Smith. Then you talking about, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Everson Griffin, you got Alden Smith, Dontari Poe. That's your front four right there. We know all them names. And the offensive line's only gave up 1 sack. That's very good. Not only for the offensive line, but Sean McVay. Because Sean McVay came in with the mindset, 2 seconds, getting the ball out of Jared Goff's hand. We are not gonna let Alden Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dontari Poe, and Everson Griffin get off and get to Jared Goff. Commend Sean McVay on that. Perfect game plan to let these known pass rushers get to Jared Goff. You silence them. Back up. 1-2 step. Get the ball out your hands. We're going to keep the chains moving. Let's keep moving forward. So, offensive line gave up only 1 sack. I love it. They opened some holes in the running game. I like it. Still gotta work on some other stuff, but it's only 1 game. Defensive side. Started out good. Didn't finish well. Started out good, didn't finish well. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, we get the ball first to start the game. We go down, we score. Defense gets like a 3 and out, 4 and out, whatever you want to call it. Defense looks good. Cowboys struggling. Offense couldn't finish drives. Defense let the Cowboys finish drive. So it's a balanced effort. Like I said, it's a lot of things on both sides we need to work on. Offense didn't know how to finish drive. Defense, well, we knew what the problem was. It was our linebackers. Yes. And you know, linebackers miss a lot of tackles, man. When you play the Dallas Cowboys, you have to tackle Zeke. You have to wrap Zeke up and drag him to the ground. All these arm tuckers that y'all just reaching trying to grab him wasn't working. He was getting through holes and then breaking into the second level. That's not what we want. Our linebackers is our question, and it showed in game 1. Now Kaiser had a pretty good game, but he did miss 7 tackles. That's not good. Going up to a back like Zeke Elliott. This is why Zeke Elliott had 22 carries for 96 yards and a touchdown. And matter of fact, 3 receptions for 31 yards and a touchdown. Because when he went out to the flat, there wasn't no linebackers out there to cover him. He caught the ball in the flat, took it to the house for a touchdown. We can't have that. We got to work on it. But I believe in Brandon Stanley. We gonna get together. He even said it. Not far from satisfied, but defense held up well. I will admit, Jalen Ramsey did do some acting job to get that offense pass interference call. Yeah, you can say he extended it. Yeah, that is true. He did extend it, but he ain't put no force behind it. Michael didn't put the force behind it. So I'm gonna give Jalen Ramsey credit. He did a good acting job. It works. It got an OPI on the Cowboys on the last drive, and they couldn't get down the field to kick a field goal to tie the game. So, hey, it is what it is. And plus, I kind of figured that was like a makeup call because they missed that Alden Smith hit to the head on Jared Goff. So, you can say that happened too. But, you know, let's see. But speaking of Ramsey in the secondary, Amari Cooper had 10 catches for 81 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches for 59 yards. Michael Gallup, 3 catches for 50 yards. Yeah, first game. But, hey, Jalen Ramsey. We were playing back. Why was we playing back? Now, if you were playing back off of CeeDee Lamb, I understand because CeeDee Lamb can run. The boy's from Alabama. The boy got speed. Amari Cooper, he's doing good in Dallas. But he never was a speedster at Alabama either, but he runs a very precise, good routes. Michael Gallup, man, he can get behind you. He can. I give him that. But Jalen Ramsey, Troy Hill, you know, we seen a lot of Jordan Fuller. Matter of fact, I need to give game ball to Jordan Fuller. Now, why am I giving the game ball to Jordan Fuller? Here's why I'm giving the game ball to Jordan Fuller, because on 4th and 3, the Cowboys elected not to kick the tying field goal and to go for it. And then going for it, they ran shallow crossing routes. For those of you who don't know what shallow crossing route is, 2 yards up, you dragging all the way. It's like a 2-yard drag across the field on both directions. So Jordan Fuller has to deal with CeeDee Lamb. You have Alabama versus Ohio State in this battle. Normally, I go with Alabama because I'm an SEC guy and I don't like Ohio State. But in this case, in the professional level, CeeDee Lamb is with the Cowboys and Jordan Fuller is with us, the Los Angeles Rams. Jordan Fuller had to navigate through traffic because not Blake Jarwin, Soaps, because Blake Jarwin got injured, fell for toy ACL. Prayers out to him, even though he's on the Cowboy. Hope you have a nice surgery, speedy recovery, sir. Dayton Schultz was running the shallow crossing from the other side of the field, who's supposed to be kind of setting the pick, but not literally setting the pick on Jordan Fuller. So he's tied up with a defender of ours. Jordan Fuller gets around the mayhem. Schultz and another Rams player, and bullseyes CeeDee Lamb, hit him a yard short of the first down, turnover on down. Jordan Fuller, you, my friend, get my Defensive Player of the Week award for that play right there. Because when crunch time hit, you made the play, sir. In your first professional game, the moment ruled and you made the play. Jordan Fuller, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Offensively, of course, I'm giving my offensive game ball to Malcolm Brown. I mean, I'm going to say it again, 18 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. I can't argue with that. Now, feels good. We got our first win out the way. We opened up our new stadium. Feels good. Feels very good. Feels good to wake up and it's Victory Monday. And some of y'all join me in Victory Monday. It's good to have Victory Monday because it feels so good. But now we switch gears here because week 2, we take the trip to the Beverly Love City. That'll be Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As we take on Carson Wentz and the 0-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Why are they 0-1? It's because they blew a 17-point lead to the Washington football team. I'm going to say that again. They blew a 17-point lead. Y'all heard this all week. But I want to say it for dramatic effect. They blew a 17-point lead to the Washington football team. Yes, the team with no name. The team with no name scored 27 unanswered points to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-17. Now, I went to look at these stats because how do you give up 27 unanswered points? That means one team is struggling and the other team is on all cylinders. That was not the case. Let's see. Carson Wentz went 24 for 42, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, lost one of them. Bart Scott because Miles Sanders didn't make the trip. 9 carries for 35 yards. Dallas Gilbert, 8 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Ertz had a touchdown too, so both of your touchdowns came to your tight ends if you Carson Wentz. First of all, red flag right there, ladies and gentlemen. If we run by our linebackers, Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, problem. I'm saying that right here, right now. Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, problem, because we have linebacker problems. So Brandon Staley, whatever you need to do before we get to Philly, you need to do it. I hope you already did it because this is almost to the weekend when I'm recording this. So I need my linebackers to play better because Carson Wentz ain't afraid to use some tight ends. And most of the time, tight ends are defended by linebackers. So yeah, we got to work some stuff out. Miles Sanders supposed to be back for this game. We're going to see how that works with our linebackers and that stuff like that. And the receiving core didn't do much. Deshaun Jackson, 2 catches for 40-something yards. Reagan had a catch for 59 yards. Ain't eye-popping because there wasn't much going on with the Eagles receiving core as we kind of know this going into the season. But nevertheless, Dwayne Haskins for the Washington football team only threw for 178 yards on a touchdown. They combined rushing for 36 carries, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both by Peyton Barber. Gibson had 39 rushing yards to lead the group in yards rushing. So it wasn't It wasn't nearly spectacular. But the 27-0 round wasn't even spectacular. It was a mediocre number. It's the fact that Carson Wentz had 3 turnovers, 2 picks, and a lost fumble. 21 points of the 27 was turnovers. Like, what is this? Now, if you've been following Ramily talk, you know I did my preseason picks and I picked the Eagles to win this game. Cause I thought they'll be 1-0 when the season started because it's the Washington football team. Well, that was wrong because they 0-1, and now we got to deal with a team who's gonna open up their home stretch of the season in Lincoln Financial Field against us. And I had us losing 34-30. Now, that's still on the table because the Eagles have beaten us about the last 6-7 times. We haven't beat Philly since the early 2000s. That's a long time. Even one of those games that we lost, we actually injured Carson Wentz. And they still beat us because they had Nick Foles. I don't even know who the backup is in Philly this time because Nick Foles in Chicago. This is where Mr. Kubicki did what he did to the Detroit Lions, scoring, I think it was 17 on us, or coming back from 17 down to beat the Detroit Lions because Nick Foles, the Super Bowl MVP and a Super Bowl champion quarterback is right behind you. So Mitchell Trubisky, all eyes is on him in Chicago because first come, first serve, they would chant for Nick Foles without hesitation. Nevertheless, now we got to deal with the Philadelphia Eagles at home, at their own place. So now, do I stick with the Eagles winning this one? No. You know why? Because I'm sick and tired of people doubting the Rams. Everybody continues to doubt the Rams. We're the underdog at our home opener against the Cowboys. We are underdog against the Eagles this week. When our people are going to respect us again? We had one bad season. It wasn't even a bad season. We went 9-7. We just missed the playoffs. And all of a sudden, the Rams ain't nothing no more. San Fran is taking off. Seattle's going to be Seattle. And here comes the Arizona Cardinals. The NFC West is called the toughest division in football because all 4 teams, including my Los Angeles Rams, are a problem. Okay? Matter of fact, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals on beating the San Francisco 49ers. Shout out to y'all putting the defending NFC champions at an 0-1 start. Matter of fact, they're the only team that lost because Seattle beat Atlanta. I just mentioned Arizona beating San Fran, and we beat the Cowboys, obviously. So, hey, it's a 3 right on top of the league after week 1. I love it. Let's keep it moving. Now, it's going to be tough because, as I said, the Eagles are getting Miles Sanders back. Lane Johnson will be back. They got Jason Peters. So, the O-line should be intact. We're going to see how Miles Sanders look off of his little injury that he's dealing with. But Aaron Donald is coming for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz like to hold on to the ball a lot. He doesn't throw the ball away like he should. And I expect him to do the same. So I can see Aaron Donald getting a sack or 2. Matter of fact, Aaron Donald, Marco Brockers, and Leonard Floyd all had a sack against Dak Prescott. All 3 sacks right there. Leonard Floyd, Marco Brockers, Aaron Donald. So what's going to happen with the Philly? Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, Leonard Floyd. We get 3 more sacks with them 3 again. I love our chances because that means Carson Wentz can't get rid of the ball and Carson Wentz can't find the receivers. Like I'm going to say this again. Our linebackers going to be tested because Zach Ertz and Dallas Cowboys are some great tight ends. It's going to be tested. Now, does Jalen Ramsey follow Deshaun Jackson around? Or do we play your side of the field, that side of the field? I don't know how we're going to play. But my rookie safety and Jordan Fuller and John Johnson, I'm going to need y'all on deck because some of the time I might need y'all to cover these tight ends because these tight ends are good. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. These tight ends are good. But on the other side, we got to deal with the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now, as you can see, the defense weren't the problem because when you turn the ball over 3 times, you're giving the Washington football team short field. So, as I said, Dwayne Haskell only threw for 178 yards. The Washington football team only rushed for 80 yards in the whole game. And he win. That means the defense is still there. Unfortunately. But they don't have a second. I don't believe in a secondary. Even though you got Darius Slay. Who Darius Slay gonna take away? Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods? He gonna only take away one of them, and once he take away the one of them, the other one gonna get off. Tyler Higbee gonna get off. You got Jefferson, Josh Reynolds. You can take away one of them. You can't take away all of them. So I was expecting better performance from Jericho, better play calling from Sean Mayberry, but he's gonna stick with the run first. We gonna test the run defense. You can't really run on Philly, but he gonna test the run defense with the three back committee with Henderson, Brown, and Akers. But just know, I expect Jericho to have another at least another 275 yards, if not 300, not if 300 to 400 yard range in this game coming up in week 2. So I expect a hard fought game, and I'm gonna be honest. I think it's time for us to win. I think I'm gonna switch up from my preseason prediction. I think we take this one. I think we gonna take this one by a score of 31-28 Rams, and then we'll get ready for week 3, which is the Buffalo Bills. Now, before we get out of here, I'm gonna let y'all listen to Tyler O for those of you who got some Rams in your fantasy football league. Tyler O got you covered with who you should start or who you should sit for our week 2 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm gonna say 76 against the Philadelphia Eagles. So take a listen to Tyler O real quick.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Rams Fantasy Talk. I'm Tyler Oginski. Before we jump into the Rams Fantasy Outlook for Week 2, let's take a peek at some of the data from Week 1 as a jumping off point. From a running back standpoint, this was all about Malcolm Brown. He saw a 60% snap rate to Akers' 33% snap rate. Darrell Henderson is relegated to the number 3 duties and will not be relevant unless there is an injury. Darrell Henderson is a drop in standard redraft leagues. Malcolm Brown took his 18 rushing attempts for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he also saw 4 targets for 3 catches and 31 yards. The rookie Akers took his 14 attempts for a measly 39 yards and saw 1 target for 1 catch and 4 yards. I do think Akers is a talented back, but as I was touting in the preseason on my Fire on High podcast, rookies are at a severe disadvantage in 2020. With a shortened offseason and 0 preseason games, the fact that they went with Malcolm Brown out the gate isn't a huge shock. What is more shocking is the lack of time for Darrell Henderson. Again, Darrell Henderson is a drop. So not only did Malcolm Brown outsnap Akers, he easily outperformed him as well. According to NumberFire's expected points model, it shows Malcolm Brown's success rate was 66.7 to Cam Akers' success rate of 14.3. When looking at the running backs, you want to see work in the passing game and goal line touches. Malcolm Brown saw both of those over Akers. Malcolm Brown is the guy moving forward. He's an easy flex play and a possible RB2 in a pinch. Do not by any means drop Akers, as he is supremely more talented than Malcolm Brown. He just needs some more time and some more reps. So actually, go try to buy low on Akers if you can afford to sit him on your bench for a few more weeks. I like this strategy a lot. You just need to have the bench space. Robert Woods was the clear wide receiver 1 in Week 1, taking his 8 targets for 6 catches and 105 yards to Cooper Kupp's 5 targets for 4 catches and 40 yards. Josh Reynolds and rookie Van Jefferson split wide receiver 3 duties on the Rams behind these 2 alpha wide receivers. While it was nice to see Goff look downfield a bit for Jefferson, neither one of these guys is in play for standard fantasy leagues. Gerald Everett also hurt his back in the game, which propelled Higbee's snap rate to 89%. He had an okay game, seeing 4 targets for 3 catches and 40 yards, but you want to see more considering where Higbee's ADP was this offseason. Goff was also meh. He did enough to win. He managed the game. Now let's move to our Week 2 outlook. I expect to see similar usage among the running backs. However, the Eagles' run defense is a bit more scary than the Cowboys. The Eagles' run defense is 4th in DVOA and 5th in yards allowed per carry. DVOA is defense adjusted value over average. It calculates a team's success based on the down distance of each play during the season, then calculates how much more or less successful each team is compared to the league average. Again, Eagles run defense 4th, DVOA, and 5th in yards allowed per carry. The run defense was elite last year. It's no surprise the run defense is elite this year. You can still flex Malcolm Brown, but I would temper those expectations on the touchdowns. He's a guy to plug in for, say, 12 to 14 points. I'm firmly sitting Akers on the bench. Of course, he could burst a long run, but I'm definitely not betting on it. Even with the addition of Darius Slay to the Eagles secondary, this defense still profiles as a pass funnel defense. That is, you cannot run on the Eagles, so you must pass, and you pass with success. Obviously, week 1 is a small sample size, But the Washington football team had some success passing against the Eagles, and it's not a surprise. I do expect Darius Slay to shadow Woods. You're still starting Woods, but I would temper those expectations for him to be a locked and loaded wide receiver 1. That leaves Kupp with softer coverage in the slot. I expect Kupp to have more of a Woods-type game in week 1. So Kupp, to me, is a low-end wide receiver 1 this week. Woods, more of a rock-solid wide receiver 2, as he will likely be shadowed by Darius Slay. The Eagles are also notoriously stout against the tight end. We could easily see another 30 for 40 game out of Higbee. If that happens, he'll be a big buy low candidate for me heading into week 3. He's talented, and he's on the field. These are both good things. Things will be better for Higbee if he has a bad game in week 2 against these Eagles. A lot of this game hedges on the Eagles' players' health, namely Miles Sanders and Lane Johnson. We saw both Deshaun Jackson and Jalen Reagor finish in the top 10 in air yards, which means Wentz is airing out the ball a lot. I expect this to continue. Overall, the Rams' air yards are down from 2019. They didn't really air it out much in week 1, but that could easily change if the Eagles are going for that high-powered, deep ball tosses like they were in week 1. Goff is definitely in play as a QB streamer. The Rams will likely have to pass to win, but they're much likely better options on the waiver wire. I don't hate starting Goff this week, but I don't love it as well. That is going to do it for the Rams Fantasy Talk Week 2. You can find me on Twitter at FFTylerO. Talk to you later.
Thank you to Tyler O for that. You got your fantasy talk. You got your fantasy Rams talk right there. I already covered what happened in week 1 against the Cowboys and what I'm looking forward to in week 2. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, follow the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You got Spotify, you got Stitcher, you got iHeartRadio, you got Speaker.com. Whatever your favorite platform is, Ramily Talk is on there. Enjoy your weekend. Just watch some football. Just get ready to take down the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time in about 8-7 tries. And let's have another Victory Monday, people. I'll holler y'all next week as we recap week 2 and we get ready for week 3 when we head to the Buffalo Bills. Adios.